that I keep talking about it, but it takes a while to kind of get the hang of it. And I want to really just push that because it's quite important when we're looking at things to think in the T format. So remember, T is trend, extreme, and anomaly. So I want you to take a minute here and look at these ships and think about think of this as kind of like a graph, okay? What is the overall trend from this first one here to this last one here? What are the extreme cases of this? And are there any anomalies? Okay, so I want you to just think about that for a second, and then we'll go over that. Okay. So as I'm sure all of you guys can see, that generally over the years, the trend is that they've all increased in length. As you can see from the early container ship to the Triple E, there's been a huge increase in the length of the ship. There's also been an increase in the depth, which you could have focused on as well. But I'm going to focus on the length, okay? Change in length. So I would say, and again, I want you to write this down. So I want you to write down the T and clearly identify that that what you're doing is T. I want to try to instill this skill into you guys, okay? Until you guys can do it on your own. If we look at the extremes here, so I want to look at where there's been extreme growth in length. So I would say from here to here, so the fully cellular to the Panamax ship, and you can include the dates if you'd like, have demonstrated an extreme increase, as well as the post-Panamax and the post-Panamax Plus has demonstrated extreme growth. We can't really see the exact length increase, but we can see approximately. Okay, and you can calculate that here as well. But I'm just going off of quick rough visual inspection. I'm picking these two for the largest jump in length. Okay, and then if we're looking for the anomaly, I would say that would be between these two ships, the Panamax Max and the post-Panamax. Didn't really change much in length, maybe just a smidge. Okay, so there wasn't too much of a change in the length here. So that is an example of T. Okay. So again, as you can see, they've gotten a lot bigger in terms of length and depth over the years. And ports have had to respond to this change, okay? Obviously, the port that was receiving early container ships is vastly different from the Triple E, the port receiving the Triple E, okay? So what do you think would ports need to do to respond? How can they develop and change to go from an early container ship to a Triple E? What changes would they need to make? So I want you to think about that just briefly. Okay. So we're going to talk about that in the next few slides. So as we've identified, the size is a huge issue, right? So recently built ships are much larger than in the past. This helps to make them more efficient in terms of cost per unit of fuel and staff, as well as saving money on transporting goods. As a result, the major ports have adapted by providing deep water facilities and large-scale high-tech equipment. Dockside installations have been upgraded and strengthened to cope with the increasing size of the